Woo, yeah. And it goes the opposite way too. It goes the opposite way too. Like I said before, I am so happy with this generation. And then on your generation is, I have to tell you, very proud, especially the light workers, because of one thing, and people do not look at it very strongly on this way, is that is computer generation. And today, the biggest fear happening on this planet right now today is AI. And the thing about it is that they're trying to take away the spirit, making people robots. But the truth of it is, it can't work. And what I mean by that is that it's already been put in that the 90s generation, you know, they were the ones who took over computer. You know, you have all these different computer, black ops things in the computer field. You got people in the computers like Anonymous and so forth that are going on. Yeah, some of them have been taken out by the CIA, but deep inside, the thing is that even the computers are connected to the earth. And I say this because a child who's a baby, but I'm talking a baby who cannot talk, not able to walk yet, picks up a phone. And you got to understand that I was during a time where there was no computers. That's when I was born. There was no computer. And then you had to have these cards. You had to set up. I seen the very first computer in Berkeley, California, back in the 70s. Okay. And I'm telling you, nowadays, you have a little baby picking up who's cracking codes right into a phone and getting in there. How are they doing that? They're connected. See what I'm saying? They're telepathically connected and talking to the computer. People don't get that. And when you have that spirit, baby, you have those indigo children, the people who are connected in the 90s and so forth. People think that, it's all these programs, blah, 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 blah. No, that brain up there, it all starts in the heart. But when you have the left and right brain connected, you are talking to that computer. You are rewriting things. People don't get that. That's how powerful we are. That is how powerful we are. So this AI stuff and people being scared. And I remember this as a very young computer programmer years ago when computers first came out. He goes, you should never be feared of AI, the AI. They didn't call it AI back there. Be fear of the computer, because the human brain has more network power than they will ever have on a computer, because you're linked to the field, the multi-universe. You're not connected just to one little single thing. When you cut in the illusion, this computer and all this other kind of stuff, again, it's a piece, it's an object. We're working in the field. And let me tell you, that 90s generation boomed it out by learning how to work in the field, to work with these computers, how to work a computer with your mind and your heart, and not just your fingers. See what I'm saying? There's a difference. All these capabilities that we do have, telepathic, the night dreaming, our dreams, floating in our dreams, all these different things that we're capable to do, reading crystals, reading the talk, all these different things that we're able to do. Those are all our psychic abilities that are becoming prominent now. It's not like we got to hide this. Oh, he's a weirdo or she's a weirdo. They're into that weird whoopty stuff. No, that is the norm now. That is becoming the norm. How we speak to one another non-verbally now, how we communicate. That's becoming the norm. And if you're not getting this, it's like going back in the time, back when I was growing up, way back when, was if you couldn't read, if you're illiterate, you're going to fall behind. So it's the same thing. A lot of people, my generation, are all going like, the fucking computer, I don't need it, blah, blah, blah. No, if you don't get into these computers, you're going to fall out. Okay.
All right, we are back. And to come back to what you're saying about my generation, the 90s generation, there's something that's so huge about us that you just described, that we are the first kids to have this time period where the computers and video games were good enough to play with and tinker around with, but they weren't good enough to prevent you from playing outside. So that's the interesting, like, this is, I feel like my generation is going to be really key in the future, is holding this space of, we had computers, not like the supercomputers that we're coming into, but they weren't good enough or entertaining enough for us to not be outside and connected with the earth. So in that coming togetherness, we have this sort of role here as 90s kids that are now 90s adults, that we are guiding humanity forward in a way that's merging both, right? We have, your generation has the Beatles and Earth, Wind, and Fire and the big free love movement and all the gurus that came and all the senseis and sifus that came. And there's also the shadow side of that, where there's just people who watch way too much movies, TV, they believe all of that stuff, all this false propaganda reality that happens on the TV and media. So that shadow side is being battled now by this 90s generation that is connected with the earth. A lot of us, the ones that are doing the work, our dharma, our soul purpose, in whatever way that manifests, are at battle with these people who are zombified by the TV, which was different than the computer, because in my generation, you can choose. You have freedom of information. If I see some bullshit on TV, I turn it off. I don't want to watch that shit, and I go on the computer or I go on a video game. In when I was a kid, talking about, uh, and I have choice of what kind of artificial intelligence stimulation I get, rather than having it force fed, which was a lot of the, there were at the first, when TV first came out, there was like 3 channels there, and now we have infinite channels of loads of stuff on computer, on TV, Netflix, loaded with information. But these kids being born now and in the future generations, they're not going to have that balance. You know, they're going to have over information. They're going to go on the computer and there's so much stuff getting pushed in their face that they need this protection that our generation of mothers and fathers, like myself, are going to have to be like, hey, look, all that information is great, but there's nothing greater than this nature outside. There's nothing greater. And all of your favorite things, all of your favorite shows, all of your favorite video games, all are emulations of nature and of history and of the cosmos. All of your favorite things virtually are emulations and simulations of reality. So learn how to make life your video game and play life to its fullest. And that is a way in which, I'm so glad you said that. There's nothing to fear about artificial intelligence, because we have so much fear, mainly because the Matrix kind of woke people up. That movie where, oh, I don't want to be like a slave to a computer. I don't want to be like lesser than a machine. But ultimately, like you said, it's from the earth. So it can't override, no matter how smart a computer gets, it cannot override Mother Earth's will, cannot override its original nature, which is not a programming, it's just the perfect art. And that information that you shared was a real relief to me in some ways, because it's like, oh yeah, doesn't matter how potent or powerful droids and artificial technology get, that soul presence will always be in control of it in some way, because that artificial intelligence is from the earth anyways. It's all part of it. It's all part of oneness, samadhi. So the modern day gurus have to include more. They have to include more in the oneness. It's not just what it used to be. Now it's like, okay, there's robots and there's high output computers that we have to include in the oneness. You can't just say that's not good or that's not me, because That's part of the illusion, separation, Maya. The Maya is the matrix, the illusion that we're separate from one another. So we have to include all of it in our love, in our connection, because it's all from the earth. It's all from the stars. It's all from the elemental beings.
And you said one thing there, right, that's really amazing too, is that Gaia, the earth element, is in control of AI, because right now, all of the quantum computers that are out, because that's the big thing, is the quantum computer now, right? That's the deal. So people are beginning to really talk about. But the quantum computer, you know what the chips are made out of? Water. Water holds more information than anything on the planet. Now, come on. We've gone from silicon to water. You see what I'm saying? Going back to the earth. And they're using it. It's frozen, it's high, cold, but it's water. Again, a natural element, another natural element, holding all of that information coming from. And now we've got these quantum computers. Yeah, we're going to be connected to everything. And we already are connected to everything. That is what AI to me is trying to do with the earth. When I say AI, is the earth is in control on this planet here. It's what it's trying to really put is connect that we're all one, right? We're all one, and people are bucking the system, and it's not a lot. People think it's like millions and millions of people that are, all trapped. No, it's everybody who's trapped. It's the ones that are caught onto the TV, into the matrix, who the zombies. And it's not a lot, because this is what one thing I keep on hearing over and over and over is that people aren't ready for the truth. They can't handle it. The people of the earth, they can't handle about the aliens and all this. I'm going like, I can walk around outside right now and ask, I guarantee you, 30 people right now, and I guarantee you 25 of them will say, yeah, there are other beings out there. There's aliens. So I don't get it why the people keep on saying that we're not ready. Keep on saying they're not ready for all this information. We're ready. What they're doing is they're trying to keep the information at their agenda. They're trying to keep everything on their agenda. Because I got woken up just last week, because I got I got into the computer and looking and getting my information, because I got, I don't keep my blinders on. I get information from not the TV, but from, the internet, some good information. And I was like, man, we're really screwed up now, man. I've been off this thing for a while. This is really fucked up. And so this pandemic, man, people are dying. Oh my God. And I got laid out again. What I mean by laid out, Spirit comes over me. Spirit says, all this stuff that's happening often that you're seeing, this COVID stuff, people dying and these fights and this racial tension that's all going on, people beating each other and all this kind of stuff. When have you seen it? And where are you seeing this? I said, oh shit, damn. I'm sitting on the computer. I ain't seen it anywhere in my life. Nowhere.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing it around me.
And that's,
and that woke me up.
When you look at the news corporations, look at who owns the news corporations, and guess who you see? Hollywood. So you look at the movies today, if the same people that are making these movies where you could make CGI, computer generated imagery of somebody and it looks just like them, sounds just like them, but isn't them, and they can make this whole elaborate visionary art with the computer generated imagery, what's to stop somebody from using that to make money? Like, what's to stop making fake news where this happened? I had someone tell me when there was something went down in Florida, right? And there was like supposedly this like terrible attack in violence in Florida. I had 2 friends living in that town, and they were like, it didn't happen. And I'm like, what do you mean it didn't happen? I was open-minded to it. I didn't say like, oh, there's no way that didn't happen or did happen. I said, what do you mean that that didn't happen? They were like, I was there in that town that day, and there was actors putting on makeup and getting behind a green screen and filming this stuff, and then they put it on the media, and then they have the same actors and actresses doing interviews in different countries and for different crises and all this stuff. And what you said that you learned was something that my Reiki master Hector told me multiple times. He said, don't trust your eyes. What you see is not reality. If you see a person, they could be a spirit. You have no idea if that person is real or not. You see a news story, you have no idea if that is real or not. You see anything, trust what you feel.
Yeah.
Because what you feel doesn't lie. And that's why people, oh, I feel bad I did this. Yeah, you should feel bad that you did that. It's your body telling you something. And that's the embodiment factor that a lot of people miss in this sort of spiritual niche and this new age movement is, are you really embodying the truth? And everybody can feel it. If you're like a real deal psychic, like yourself or myself, when somebody sees you, they go, oh, okay, or listens, okay, this is the real deal. You know when somebody's blowing the smoke. Like there's
Yeah.
some people out there that have loads of followers and they're like peace, love, and happiness, but then they don't have peace or love or happiness inside. So how can you trust somebody who doesn't practice what they preach? And that brings me back to the earth element um, embodiment question. Is you're someone at your age really physically embodying all of these positive qualities and all of these enlightened qualities, but at a level that is physical? How can somebody who's watching this video uh, take wisdom from you and understand how to not just think about being loving or not just think about being a healer, but really embodying it in their earth element, which is the body?
And a really good thing to do is, again, get out of it if you can. Some people can. I'll tell you another way when you're in your home. If you can, get out into the elements. Get out into nature, at the beach or the forest or wherever you get out in your backyard in the grass. And you want to be able to just be, okay? And what I mean by being is find one thing that you can concentrate on. I don't care if it's your breath, a blade of grass, whatever it is, you focus in on that and just be. And any distraction, and distractions are going to come up, okay? More distractions come up when you have your eyes open than when you have them closed. So you have a choice. I tell people, open if you want, close them if you want. And once you're into that focus, so whatever you're focusing in on, it could be your breath, blade of grass, whatever you're doing. Once you're in that focus, anytime your distraction goes away, sound of a bird, tapping, if it's not something, you got to get up and leave for, if it's that, you may go to it, come right back to that focal point. Keep on coming back. And the more that you keep practicing that, you'll see yourself beginning to get away from the monkey mind, all the chatter and stuff, keeping that focus to where you come to nothingness. And when you're at that nothingness, when I mean the nothingness, you're in the void. Once you're in that void, the mind relaxes. Then, right then and there, you know when it's happening. Everybody has their certain feeling. Then you take your attention right to your heart, right to the center of the breastbone, the heart chakra, okay? Right at the center of your breastbone at the heart level. You go there, and then you start to feel. I mean, now you keep on saying this over and over, feel. And that is the key. You have to feel. You start feeling, you're going to feel an elation coming, this energy rising and so forth, and you stay with that. And then once that gets powerful, and you'll know when it's powerful, then let it release and let it connect right to the third eye, right at the center of the brain, the pineal gland, and allow that heart and brain coherence and lay into that. That right there. And I mean, may not happen the first. I'm not going to say it's not going to happen the first time, but you keep practicing that, and I will guarantee you this. You will have an epiphany. Something will happen to you. Something will come to you that will be so direct, and only you will know it, and you'll get it. You'll go like, oh, that's it. That's the connection. I am connected with the earth element, and you will continue to look for that daily. Believe me. Like I say, you have to go into the stillness, be in with nature. If you cannot be in nature and you're stuck in your house and there's nowhere else to go, then get something. I don't care if it's a crystal, a blade of grass, something that's from the earth. Bring it with you. Hold it in your hand. Have it around you and do the same thing. Okay? Just do that same thing. I don't care. You could be something. Oh, what if you're in prison? Okay, you may have seen this something. You're in prison or so forth. You're not allowed any of that thing. There is something there. Something is always organic. Something came from the earth somehow. The sheets, you may have wool sheets, whatever. Use something that is as closest to the earth element as you can and be on that. Okay, because end point is, even if you had nothing and you were in a cement room and you were naked, okay, then it comes down to your closing those eyes and you visualizing yourself as if you were there in the forest, in nature, wherever it is, because your brain does not know the difference whatsoever. And that connection right there, getting with the earth, I don't care where you're at, it will penetrate. And the force that's coming around the planet right now, and I mean a force, I don't mean like I'm throwing a force in that. It reminds me of, that's why I love you with the Star Wars, because I never told you this story too, because you always were doing the Star Wars and all this with your blade. What comes from the saber, what comes from that energy is what I saw, not the thing, but the energy that comes out of it is what I saw when I first met you, our connection. That was the first thing that I saw, and I didn't get it until the last week when you had one in your hand. It was a picture I saw and you had one. I'm like, holy fucking shit, all this time? Seriously? And that's what I saw between me and you, was the light that came from that. And that's what connects, believe it, that's what connects all of us. That's the force, that's the energy. And the force is coming over the planet. It's not everybody can see it. People who are really connected, we can see it. We can see that connection. It's everybody calls it, it literally is scientific, it's the field. That's what connects us. That saber right there, that's the field. Chi, that's the field. Prana, that's the field. And the more we lay into that through meditation, anywhere you're at, it's best to be in nature. And if you can't get there, like I say, visualize it. That connection, that earth element for us as human beings, okay? We can go out, we're aliens and where we came from, because I'm from Syrian and all this other kind of stuff. But here, that human vessel right here, connected to this planet, okay? The stronger I get with that, the more and the lighter I get. The lighter I get, the more in the fifth dimension you're going to be. Once you're in the fifth dimension, once you're there, there is no more dichotomy. There is no more black and white, up and down, God and devil. There is no more of that. There is the way. It is the way. And like Bruce Lee said, he said, be like water, my friend. Be like water. You know, it's flowing. And let me tell you, that one thing, the element, one of the most powerful elements on our planet, the most powerful, most precious, water. Our water. So much information.
Hope all of you really are taking notes, rewind that, because I'll simplify it for all of you, but what Alton just described is exactly how you embody spiritual energy, spiritual virtues, mental virtues, whatever name you give it, that is how you do it. And to simplify it, you have a physical body, right? And Alton talked about first you have to focus. If you're not focused, if you're not centered, is another thing he described, then your energy is going like this all the time. What does my mom think about me? What does my dad think about me? What does this stranger think about? Like, this monkey mind is literally wasting your energy. And people wonder why I have so much energy, because I'm embodied, like you, inward, centered, getting to that center space and emptying, because you have to be empty. You have to be open to receive, or else you're in your masculine. If you're in light mode, if you're in giving mode, you can't receive in that. It's just outward, 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 thinking outward, getting in the center, emptying your mind, emptying your body of all thoughts, all feelings, Then you get into that space, you're in nature, you get into that feeling, that force that you want to embody in your life, that quality or that virtue, that higher aspect of your soul that you want to embody. Then you bring it in. Then you focus inwards and bring that in because you're open and you have room for it. If you have all your mental thoughts, your monkey mind chattering, thinking about other people's bullshit opinions that change on the daily every single second, you're not going to be able to pull it in. You're not going to be able to even hold it in your body for long enough for it to be there. And to relate it to an analogy, if you look at a mountain, right? If a mountain's energy was all over the place, right? Just zooming out, distracted, not focused, there would be rocks floating in the air. That's what it would be like. But a rock, uh, boulder, a mountain is steadied, centered, focused, grounded, and receptive. So it can embody this presence that is shaped and changed by the waters. And I'm so glad that's the first time you told me about that lightsaber connection, which
Yeah.
is so awesome because we know I work with past lives. All of you who have got a past life reading from me know what's up and how good that channel is. But there is such a thing as Jedi in the universe. If you are a spiritual warrior and you're in a place in the universe and it's too big to tell me that it doesn't exist, because it does exist, other galaxies, other star systems, other dimensions that have spiritual warriors that have this connection to the force of nature. And in that lightsaber, right, George Lucas is an absolute genius channeling information from Andromeda about what happened in Andromeda. And there's different tribes like the Zulu tribe and other indigenous people who talk about this great war that happened between uh, basically like Jedi type war, Star Wars going on. The lightsaber has the crystal that channels the light. So that is like when we're embodying it, we're the crystal and the soul is our light. So we want to embody that soul. So you rewind this, listen to Alton's instructions, and be the crystal that is taking in the light. The crystal's not zooming all around, thinking about other people's opinions, getting caught up in the bullshit around in the world. It's right here, right now, solid, solid. And that's what your body needs to be, solid, to be that feminine physicality and receive that masculine light. And that's another thing about the earth element that's a common misconception, right? So, earth element, down to earth, is feminine. It's yin, meaning it's receptive. The mountain is receiving, the moon is receiving, the crystals are constantly receiving, still, feminine, slow. Feminine is the physical strength. Masculine is the fire, the spirit, the kind of kung fu, like lightning type energy. Faster, more light, more amplified, more cosmic. The feminine is like the mother, grounded, strong, centered, receptive. And you have to be solid and you have to be grounded to even think about building your body to what Alton's done, which is bodybuilding champion multiple times and just been in supreme fitness and is still to this day in supreme fitness. So what would you say is, and I think this would be the final topic because you end with the best uh, finish. How can somebody in training with you connect to building their body to be the temple of their soul that they want it to be? Or maybe they want it to be a different building, maybe they want it to be a mansion or a party house or whatever. But like, how can they build that space with you and with the earth?
That's awesome. That's what my business is all about. That's what spiritual fitness and bodywork center is about, is finding the guru within you. You find the guru within yourself. It's within ourselves. We can get information. Owen's a teacher of mine just as much as I'm a teacher of his. I mean, that's just the way it works. I learned more from Owen than a lot of people. Okay. And the thing is that in order for me to get to that point, is the inner journey is, first of all, we have to be solid within ourselves. It's an inner journey. Okay. It's what you want. It's what type of body you want. It's what type of house you want, because we all have different ideas. Some people want to be millionaires. Some people just want to have just a house and the kids. So there's enough for everybody. That's the main thing you have to learn. There's enough for everybody. Okay. No matter what you want. So when we're working out and we're training, and my training is the spiritual training, is whatever you're doing, I want you to get in contact and in touch with the energy. And that energy, we all know it. When you start running or you start jumping up and down, I don't care what it is. You can be just the lowest of energetic people. And you get up and down a few times, you start, oh my God, getting kind of dizzy. Calm down and feel that energy. It's the energy that you start pumping up. It's the endorphins that you start pumping up. That's what you want to get in contact with, not the body again, not this physical body. Okay, this is just a vessel. And we want to keep it as clean and as healthy as we can. And the only way it can do that is by having a healthy spirit. I don't care what anybody says. And please don't get me wrong. Somebody is overweight, unhealthy, eating pizza and all this other kind of stuff, and they got millions of dollars and riding a big fancy car and all this other kind of stuff. Okay, the thing is that their body, that temple that they have, that vessel, is holding a very powerful spirit, and that spirit is not happy. See what I'm saying? It knows that its time is quickly diminishing. If you get it to the understanding, and my thing is to get you, whoever you are, to become the guru within yourself and want to live. You have the desire to live eternally. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking forever. You're tapping into your spirit. It never dies. Yeah, this body will go and vanish, whenever it does. But once I'm tapped into spirit, the best thing you can do, and what I love to train people, is that when I die, I know it. I feel it. I want to be one of those people who, I want to vibrate in that fucking rainbow. You know what I'm saying? I want to be a rainbow and vibrate out of here. You know what I'm saying? I want to feel that. I want to feel that. I've learned all about it. I've learned a lot about the metaphysical, and that's, first of all, I want to show it to people what I'm doing. Then for me to train you, when I train you, I'm not going to have you do anything that I've never done, or I cannot do, or I haven't been through. So mine is getting you to feel the energy. You can be the top athlete, and you can be the little person who just started. That energy is the same. You tap into that energy and fall into that, there's no stopping you, because that energy will build you and build you and build you. And you will do things that are insurmountable. You cannot stop growing and continually growing because you're in the energy now. And people, I guarantee you, if you're overweight or you got whatever going on, you got an ailment or something like that, you get into your energy, you're going to heal. That's what healing is all about. Every healer that's out there, if you cannot heal yourself, how are you out there healing other people? How are you able to heal another person if you can't heal yourself first? It's an inner job. And that's what spiritual fitness and bodywork center is about. In my life, is I'm sending you inside you. I want you to find your guru, and I want you to tap into that energy. And once you're tapped into that energy, you're unstoppable. All of your dreams will come true. You become the creator of your life. You are the creator of your life. And it's through the energy. It's not through your physical. Forget your physical. Your physical will look good. I am getting younger. You heard me saying before, I'm going to be 60 years young. Not old, 60 years young. Because I put that in my brain, I get younger. And I'm going to tell you this, physiologically, let's go physical now. Physically in the human body, The most important cells in our body are our T cells, and they're in the bone marrow. They're in the bone. So when I'm working out, I'm doing it, and you don't have to work your ass off hard. I've learned that already. Just learned it in the last year. I don't have to work my butt really hard to get this physique now. I'm learning that. But the thing about it is that once you're growing muscle, anytime, any age, you grow muscle, and it grows all the time, bone has to grow. When bone's growing, what's going on inside the bone? The cells are regenerating. You get younger. What most people do is they get about 40, 45, this is what life gave me, they stop moving, they don't get into the energy, blah, blah, blah. The cells start deteriorating, and they're finding that out right now. They're finding it out in scientific, they've proven it. We can get younger. We can make our bodies younger through energy, through our thoughts, period. And I look at myself, I'm serious. I look at myself and go like, dude, you really are. You are getting younger. This stuff is working. You see what I'm saying? And it's because I'm in the energy. I'm not in the energy of the rest of the world, that everything is negative and the world is falling. And oh my God, here comes Armageddon. And by the way, Armageddon just means beginning. So all that whoop-de-doo shit is out there, blow it out the window. You know, get into your heart, get into you, and not an egotistical way. Get into you as you are the best thing on this planet, because you are just me. I'm just you, period. You know, that's what I say for me as a trainer and so forth. And I've trained many of people. I've trained from babies. I taught the very first Mommy and Me class in Fairfield, California, 6 months old, throw them in the water, get them swimming, to a 92-year-old man who told me I was working as a massage therapist, told me, son, you need to get in there a little deeper. I'm not no weak man. I was like, okay. And I did. Started going with some elbows and everything like that, because my thinking back then was like, oh, he's all frail and everything. No, the man was 92, riding around on his bike and everything else. I had no clue that he was 92. He told me how old he was. You know, I thought he was like in his 60s or 70s. And that's just it. It's an inner game. It's what you think about yourself. It's you becoming one with this earth element. You become one with that. There's no stopping it. There's no stopping you. There's nothing you can't do. Nothing in this world you can't do. That's my say on it. And that's the whole part of all of this, is coming together with the earth. Let's come one with the earth. Let's quit fighting the earth, going against her. She is the best thing. She is the best mother you will ever have.
Yeah, all that talk is giving me flashbacks, really good flashbacks of training with Alton. I'll tell you all this. I'm usually, since my wrestling days back when I was a teenager in school, since about like 13 years old, I've been 145 pounds. That was my wrestling weight. I still am to this day. I'm like 150 pounds. I've always been fit. I've always been very active. I was a kid with a six-pack, and people were like, how do you have a six-pack, Owen? And I started training with Alton because I wanted to get big. I said, okay, I want to see how much I can put on my body. And I said, Alton, I want to get big. I want to get physically, I want to put on muscle mass. And it's been hard for me. There's going to be some people like jealous and be like, oh, it's hard to put on weight. Nice. So, and we're like, it's been throughout my life, it's been hard to put on weight, even put on muscle. It was included hard to put on weight. I've always been high metabolism. When I trained with Alton, I said, Alton, I want you to get me big. I went up to 180, 190 pounds, like beast mode, big muscles, six-pack. I was like, what the fuck? It's like, and it was all calisthenic, no weights. We went out in nature, at the beach, out on a stand-up paddle board, out doing pull-ups on trees, all natural, organic workout. He got me to 180 pounds of pure muscle. Now I'm back to 150 pounds now because I've been more meditating and chilling out, but the strength is still there. Like I go and practice any type of the strength is still there. And the way Alton does his workouts, if any of you are interested, follow him on Instagram, Alton Sanders on YouTube. Get a one-on-one training session with him just to see how it is. He will get you really not just physically strong, but you listen to the words he says and the spiritual connection he has in his meditations he leads you through. You physically and spiritually feel strong. I remember that we were doing these sprints. And before we did the sprints, we were on this hill on Maui. And he said, look out into the ocean and connect your heart chakra to the ocean. Imagine this ray of light connecting you to the ocean. And we tuned into that. And it was a blazing hot day on Maui. It was fucking like 80, 90 degrees Fahrenheit, blazing. And I started doing those sprints. And he said, every time go faster. Every time go faster. Every time I went faster, I'm like, and I'm looking at my body, I'm like, how is my energy still here? And he's like, that meditation. You meditate, you know meditation. That's that energy you're getting from the ocean. That's that energy you're getting from the trees. And that's the difference that elevates Alton in my eyes to, I've worked out with Olympic wrestlers. I have a friend of mine, Isaac Ramaswamy, was on the reserve team for Olympic wrestling. I've trained with him. I've trained with state championship caliber wrestling squad and Connecticut, back where I'm from in Long Island, and did some serious Goju-Ryu old school Okinawan karate. Nothing is at the level of fitness training that Alton's doing, because it's holistic, it's different, and it's not just like meditative yoga. It's not just that. It's like whoever you are, Alton's gonna make that better through his training, and I feel a bit emotional. So much gratitude for that, for you adding that to my life, Alton.
Thank you so much, man. And you have added so much to my life. And I'm going to end with this right here. These sitting down, like I say, I love my crystals, and this is a rose quartz right here, and this is an celestial crystal, which is connecting with spirit, keeps you connected with spirit and so forth. Very beautiful crystal. And this is for the heart chakra and for love. The most powerful element in the human body and our spiritual bodies is the energy from the heart. And that connection right there, right here, just being and just looking at these and taking the energy in it, and it's universal. You know, energy travels everywhere in every direction at the same time. Okay. And the more that you can allow yourself just to be and allow yourself to connect with nature in any way every day, you can't be stopped. And I'll end with this. The more that you love yourself, okay, the more that you love yourself, the more of that love comes to you. Okay. You are the love. You are the complete love. And the more that you can own that, there is no stopping. You know, I'm proud of this man right here. I'm proud of him. That I've seen him grow. I've seen the stuff that he's gone through. And I know they're gonna, you know, we're gonna cross paths again, and they have a journey going, because I've already had meditations about the little girl coming about, and she is going to be amazing. You're talking amazing. They're going on a journey. I know that. They're going on a journey. The baby wants to go places. But more than anything, Owen, man, your spirit, your love, all of it, bro. I mean, stays there. From Hawaii. We love you. When you come back.
Big aloha, brother. Big aloha, Alton. Big aloha to everyone who's watched. We'll be signing off on this excellent episode. And remember, if you want to get in contact with Alton, it's Alton Sanders, ALTON Find him on Instagram. They tried to take him off for a bit, but he's back. He can't stop. They can't stop you from getting in that and spreading your message and putting those cannabis healing plants up there. And
Yes.
yeah, big love to you, brother, and big love to you all.
Aloha.